Welcome back to GXPC. This week at the tail end, we have a little game between Full Send Gaming and
Team Phoenix Rising.
There we go. So, I'm Jimmy, and this is
Rebel Fox.
Okay. So that was some pretty cringeworthy intro, but we're gonna get right into some picks and bans with the pro draft here. What are you thinking, Rebel?
Well, coming into the draft, I know that last week I believe it was Phoenix Rising was testing out some new stuff, things like the Aurelia, the Ash, and it was working pretty well for them. So we'll have to see if any of the picks from last week kind of carry over into this draft. We know Full Send Gaming likes to, their top laner, I'm pretty sure loves to play this Gangplank. Yeah, the Yasuo was actually, Yasuo from last week was a pickup alongside the Ornn, and it was really good for Team Phoenix Rising, so it doesn't shock me to see a band out here.
Seems pretty legit, and then we got the Graves coming out. Not necessarily a bad ban. I don't really feel like he's very good. Like, I mean, he's good, but he's not like, oh my god, he's so good. So, you know, that's that. And then the Lucian ban, I don't feel like Lucian's really even strong enough to put a ban on him.
He's, I don't know, it kind of depends on the composition you're running, because Lucian can do some pretty consistent damage with Black Cleaver Bork to tanks. Kind of makes their life a lot harder in terms of what he's also pretty mobile, so tanks have a really hard time locking him down, and he can kill them pretty easily. So maybe Team Phoenix Rising looking to play some of those immobile tanks, maybe the Ornn like we previously alluded to.
Yeah, and the Nami Ahri also getting banned. Ahri, not a bad ban. She's pretty mobile for a mid laner. Does a lot of damage, and then the Nami is a great ban. I mean, all that disengage and CC is pretty good at taking that away from them.
Yeah, Nami is she's been pretty high win rate for quite a long time. She's definitely one of the enchanters that got hit less. We saw an Amumu locked in. That's another Amumu. Why have we seen so many Amumus lately?
Because people are realizing that tank junglers are the real way to go now.
Yeah, tank junglers all are. They've typically been pretty strong in the past. Things like Gragas, things like Sejuani, but like, why Amumu? All that, so many people play Amumu, and it's only just now all of a sudden that Amumu starts getting played.
Well, I bet you anything they were hoping to get the Misfortune, that second round pick for TPR, because Amumu ult into Misfortune ult is just amazing. Like, it just melts people. Really, the Amumu ult in general is really good at just melting some base, especially if you have like a really DPS heavy team, like the Jinx or something along those lines.
Misfortune's a pretty solid 80. Like I said, another champion that's been pretty consistently high win rate for the entirety of the year. So, and again, it's pretty good at team fighting as well. You were making mention maybe they were taking it away, but it doesn't look like Neutronix plays that champion. So this is something that FSG has actually been working on. So we'll have to see how well it plays out for them.
Meanwhile, on FSG's side, we did get the Gragas picked up in the jungle there. Pretty good jungler, really solid. He's another one of those tank with a lot of heavy engage, disengage type stuff. The Ash and Echo being picked up on TPR, both fairly decent choices. I don't feel like Ash is too terribly strong, especially going into the MF. Obviously, she's probably going to be playing more of a support ADC style role, more or less looking for a lot of lockdown, and I feel like that's what TPR is building into right now.
Yeah, TPR kind of looking into that. I'm curious as to whether or not Amumu is going to be their only tank. because an Ashe doesn't have tons of AD damage. She's obviously an AD carry, but she doesn't do tons of attack damage in terms of just other AD carries. And you see an Amumu Echo come out, so it makes me think maybe they're going something more damage oriented for the top lane. Amumu's hard to kill, and Echo is very hard to kill with his ultimate, so it wouldn't shock me to see them play something. It doesn't have to be, like a Fiora or something like that, but even something like a Renekton or a Darius in the top lane wouldn't shock me.
Well, we might see them pick up that amazingly low win rate Urgot that everybody has been playing.
I think Urgot's pretty good, though. Like, he's just a strong champion.
He is a very strong champion. It's just the win percentage that most teams have had with him thus far in the season's been pretty poor.
Well, maybe they can be the ones to turn that around. I mean, he has strength to him. It's just the question is unlocking it, I guess. FSG is also looking towards this. I mean, you already see the Wombo combo with the Orianna Misfortune, so... And there's TPR banning out the Malphite, so they can't just triple Wombo this with the Malphite ult, Ori ult, and Misfortune ult, so...
But I wanted to see that.
I think everyone wants to see a really good Wombo combo every now and again, but there's other champions that can do it. Like a Jarvan. Jarvan as a ball delivery is pretty good too. Not quite Malphite. Oh, Alistar is a good substitute too. That's another really good one.
Meanwhile, we also see the Gnar being taken away from FSG and the Kennen and Swain being taken away from TPR.
Mm-hmm. So again, top laners getting banned out. Surprising that they went for AP top laners because of the amount of AP damage already loaded onto Phoenix Rising's composition. So a little shocking there that they would go for that kind of thing. It kind of... Oh.
The Twisted Fate and Braum, okay.
All right, so maybe it's an Echo top.
Maybe it's a TF top.
It could be a TF top. I know, personally, I love playing Echo top. It's how I learned to play Echo back when he was a bruiser. And I can speak from experience. I play the champion at least a little bit, and he is very strong in the top lane. So it would be cool to see that come back again. I'm curious whether that's the case. I don't think the Amumu would be top lane, so I don't think it would be an Echo jungle Amumu top. But it'll be an interesting one. We saw FSG also pick up that Darius as their final pickup. So,
this just in, coming in from the desk, that is actually not a TF. That's an Ornn.
Okay, that makes a little bit more sense. Okay. That's a shame. I wanted to see the Echo top lane or the TF mid lane. So I would have really liked to see that kind of thing. But oh wait, they're... Oh. Okay, so we're having... Okay, alright, so apparently because it's Ornn top lane and they didn't know at the time of picking, they didn't want Darius, so they're going to swap out their Darius pickup. Okay.
Okay.
They're swapping the Darius is going into Jax now, so it's now a Jax instead of a Darius and an Ornn instead of a Twisted Fate.
Alright,
we'll see that.
Legit.
We'll see that as we come in. I don't know what that does. That's really interesting because now they have like a 4-1 composition. They have a really spectacular like 4-person team comp with the MF, the Alistar, and the Orianna. And then Darius, or Jax, I guess in this case, would be an amazing split pusher. The question is how fast can he scale against an Ornn?
I feel like Jax into an Ornn is actually really actually pretty good. Obviously, with Jax you have the counter strike, you have the leap, and then just that massive passive that he has. He's going to be great at split pushing and taking down towers, just like you had mentioned. But into the Ornn, I feel like he has the mobility and just the right amount of CC to really be able to take control of that lane.
Yeah, I'm also a little bit worried that the composition created by Phoenix Rising, I believe it is. Yeah, Phoenix Rising is it's just too low damage to fight that 4 versus 5 team composition. So the Amumu ult, the Ornn ult, the Ashe ult, they're all really, really good engaged tools. They do a lot of work and they're really good. But my issue is with Ornn in the top lane and with an Ashe ADC, you don't have tons of damage coming out of your main position. Echo also, he does damage, but it's not like he's not playing Zed or Katarina. He's not full damage. He has a lot of mobility and utility, but he doesn't have all damage. So I'm a little worried about the amount that they have on their team as a whole compared to even just the four man, everybody but Jax on the side of FSG.
Yeah, I think what this is really going to boil down to is what happens when we get into that team fight stage. Obviously, with the Amumu, the Ornn, the Echo, they have a pretty decent amount of damage just right there. But on the other side, you do have the Alistair with Gragas, Orianna, MF.
Mm-hmm.
It gets to the point. It's like whose team is really better just composition wise. I'm gonna have to give it over to FSG, just because of the sheer fact that they have a huge wombo combo and the fact Jax can get picks and then Gragas can just team disengage, which is really really nice. Whereas Phoenix doesn't have a team disengage per se. They can use Ornn's ultimate as a team disengage, but more than likely they're going to try to use that for more engages. Same thing with the Ornn. Amumu really is the only one that would have a quote-unquote team disengage, and it's not even like a disengage. Amumu's left there by himself.
Yeah, I think where this game is going to be won and lost is either A, if the Jax can get really ahead early, so if he can get a couple kills on the Ornn and not get taken down, not get shut down by the Amumu, by the Echo roaming, if he can do that, then I think this game can be won very easily by FSG. But if it comes down to how team fights operate, I think it's more about Aslan Man hitting Orianna ults than it is about Snippet hitting Misfortune ults. The Braum, the Ornn, they're not going to take tons of damage from that ultimate from Misfortune, but hitting a really good Orianna ult can completely change the layering of CC from the Gragas, the Alistar. It can really change the landscape of a team fight. So that's what I'm looking for, is how Aslan Man can hit these ultimates onto, a Mumu, Echo, Ashe, that kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. It's also pretty interesting to note that Ornn can also change that landscape along with Braum. Mm-hmm. And Amumu can really kind of lock everything into position for Ashe and Echo to just pick off, the Misfortune and the Orianna both. They might have a little more problems getting Jax out of the way, especially if he's getting fed. It's just kind of one of those things. What it's really going to boil down to is who engages and disengages better and who has the most gold, most itemization.
Yeah. So here some questions are like, when do we see our first team fight? Like, is it going to be around a dragon? Is it going to be around Rift Herald? Is it going to be to siege a tower? Like, where are we going to see our first team fight? When do you think that will happen? So I think that what's going to happen is they're going to end up with a siege in a four-man situation in which Ornn takes a TP and becomes a 5v4 where Jax is still in the top lane. That's when I see a team fight breaking out, is I see it around one of the towers in a siege versus anything else.
Yeah. That's a lot of what it's going to be. It also kind of depends on, if and when we do see like the four-man bot. I've seen it a few times in the series. It doesn't happen too often, but I feel like the Ornn teleporting to the bot lane would be like one of the best things that Phoenix could do, because they can, kind of add that Ornn ultimate to the Braum ultimate, and Ashe can get some really good picks along with the Mumu or Echo.
Yeah, that might be how Team Phoenix Rising kind of looks to take an advantage in this game, getting that first tower, getting that first objective by using their superior early game CC. I think you're right in that case.
Yeah, because Jax doesn't have a big play or like game changing ultimate. Really what Jax wants to do is just try to split push as much as he can, maybe get a few picks here and there, try not to die, and just out itemize like the Echo or a Mumu. Ornn, I don't think is going to be the biggest problem for him.
Yeah. Well, with that, we're about to start into the game. We're going to take a quick break for an advertisement. Hope everybody sticks around. It's going to be a fun one. I can assure you that.
My name is Tim Borseth, and I own and operate Games XP in Decorah, Iowa. Games XP is a geek paradise. We carry everything from Pong and Atari all the way to Xbox One and PS4, and all the games that would go with those consoles as well. We also carry a ton of movies. We have handheld games. We have Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Pokemon. We have D&D and Pathfinder. We carry Warhammer 40K. We have a vintage Star Wars selection. This place is great. My wife and I have had 6 kids, and they are so much fun to work with here at the store. They run the store as much as I do.
And we now repair cell phones, game consoles, computers, and small electronics.
Our store is instant fun. Not only is there cool music and cool stuff to look at, but we have a game room that is so much fun. It's free to play, and you just plug in your game system and enjoy life. The Game XP motto is bringing joy to people's lives through our products, people, and a place to play. So you have got to come to Decorah, Iowa, and check out Games XP and experience this geek gaming paradise.
And we have just hit the rift. This is game 1 of FSG versus Phoenix. So any predictions going into the game, Rebel?
Yeah, okay, so I think Snippet and Loose as a Goose. His name always gets me, sorry. So Snippet and Loose as a Goose, I think, are going to win this bot lane pretty hard. That's where I think a lot of their pressure is going to come from, is Gragas taking it down there. So I think this game can be won from just those two getting ahead really early, and I think that's going to happen in this game.
Yeah, for sure. That's probably going to be the lane to watch. Aside, I think Memento over Alexander is going to be another kind of lane to watch. Really looking out for this Jackson, making sure that he doesn't spiral out of control is what Phoenix is going to have to do. So it's going to be another good one. Don't forget to get your bets in, guys. The betting is open. Just use that exclamation point and bet for your team. And the team tags are FSG and TPR. Also, don't forget you can vote for the MVP. It does cost like 500 points, but the payout's like 2,000. So if you name the MVP, you get a little extra something for your troubles. Currently, FSG has 60% of the vote, so a lot of FSG fans out there. Or they just think they're going to win, one of the two.
It's possible. Anything's possible in this league, though.
Meanwhile, we got a lot of poke coming out in that bot lane from Nutrix onto Loose as a Goose. Meanwhile, in the top, pretty even as far as trading goes. And same in the mid lane, so we're going to be focusing a lot around the CS in this early game. Oriana landing a little Q there, nice little touch. Just a tap on the cheek, saying, hi, I'm here.
Yeah, Gragas' path directly towards bot lane, it looks like maybe he might try to get a gank off here early onto either mid or bot. Yeah, bot's currently pushed, so Gragas could go down there as soon as he's done taking this Rift Scuddler. I'd like to see that happen, actually. Getting this bot lane ahead would be massive. Yeah, it doesn't look like he's going to, though, unfortunately. So both junglers, 2 camps, and then immediately to that scuttle, they're just mirroring one another on the opposite sides of the jungle.
Oh, and here we see Alexander going in on Memento. Doesn't get the stun off, unfortunately, but Memento is going to have to play a little bit safer with that half health.
Yeah, Ornn is not a champion in the early game to take for granted in terms of damage. His W and his auto, which I will hear for and forever into eternity, call the clap. That is a lot of damage that you can put down onto a champion, so you got to watch out for that.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. But I feel like once Jax gets a little bit more into his build, he'll be doing a lot better against that Ornn.
Absolutely. He's for certain not an early game champion. Ooh, I like the Q. Yeah, he's for certain not an early game champion. Ooh.
Meanwhile, we got Canadian champ going in onto the Orianna. Kaze is here to try to back him up. Not much can be done, though, but Gragas does come in, lands a huge hit on Canadian champ. They're going to have to call it quits right there.
Yeah.
And then we've got Alexander trying to get Memento under the tower, but Memento's not going to have any of it. He uses that counter-strike to really force him off. Both of them having to use some of their pots there. Memento is unfortunately out of pots.
Yeah, so started with that engagement in the mid lane. Aslan Man had a fantastic job on the cleanse to get out of that situation very quickly. The aggression from the TV on the
but loses a goose going in onto the Braum, and Ash here, Misfortune backing it up with some heavy damage. Ash trying to kite it back. Loses a goose is actually taking quite a bit of damage.
Yeah. The Ash is out of pots, though, so all of that damage is relatively permanent. She can sustain a little bit from just her from her Dorn's Blade Lifesteal, but that is pretty... Oh, and she keeps taking damage from this Misfortune.
Yeah, those Q pokes are no joke with the MF.
Yeah, especially with the Comet build. Some people like to go Dark Harvest, and it really punishes a little bit later in the game. But this early game Comet build with your E and your Q poke makes it so difficult after the changes to sustain for ADCs.
Memento trying to go back in on Alexander, but doesn't realize he doesn't have any damage yet to really dish it out. And Alexander returns a nice little Q back.
Yeah, Alexander getting that, he has the Corrupting Pot, plus he has the Biscuits of Everlasting Life, so the sustain on him in this early game is absolutely bonkers. Oh, he's just gonna BM him a little bit. These trades are identical to one another.
Yeah, Memento really has to look out, though. It keeps getting too low, I think. It's going to kind of become a little bit of a problem. We already see a differential in the CS in that top lane. It's not too terribly much. It's still recoverable, but he's really got to pay attention.
Yeah. Something else I want to note is that he did take, I think that's, I can't remember what that, Conqueror? He took Conqueror instead of taking Press the Attack. We typically see Press the Attack on the Jax. Oh, a little bit of trading.
He's dishing out quite a bit of damage onto Aslan, man.
See if anything else happens. No. Yeah, the Echo certainly put, like, getting that 3 proc with your W as well, the passive on your W, just hurts so much when you're Echo.
Oh, but Memento again. Alexander gonna keep him out again. There's so many of these little skirmishes and these little trades where not too much is really going on. Oh, but here we go. Loses a goose. Is going to get in onto the Ash. The Ignite is thrown out. MF is going to get that first blood. Alistair does have to flash there, though.
Yeah, great job. I'm not sure what happened with the Q. I think the Q somehow got past Braum shield and still snuck onto him. So he got a crit Q, and then the Ignite went down, and it was just too hard for Ash to survive after that. Great job by Snippet and Lucy Goose.
Yeah, and I believe Misfortune actually flashed there as well, but they are going to turn their attention over to this dragon. Securing an early Infernal is no joke, and this is exactly what the team needs to try to keep Orianna and Memento in this fight.
Yeah, so things to note is Infernal Drake is percentage AD and AP, which means champions that build AD and AP benefit more from it than people with just flat stats. So on the side of Phoenix Rising, you have Ornn, you have the Amumu, and you have Braum, all of who don't really build any damage of any kind. Whereas on the other side, basically everyone but Alistar builds it. So Infernal Drake is even more valuable for their team, as well as denying it away from the other side.
Yeah, especially since you can do hybrid Jax. I mean, it's not optimal in any sense, but, you know, it's there if you want it.
I'm still curious about what he's going to do on this Jax. So he went Conqueror first, which you don't typically do.
Oh, but we do see Memento going in onto Alexander. Alexander taking quite a bit of damage, having to use his dash to get away.
And the ultimate was popped though by Memento, which means he's a little more susceptible in this for the next couple minutes.
Coming back in with the Counter-Strike, and nothing's gonna happen. Complete whiff. Oh, but Alistair is gonna try to get onto Ash there, doesn't find it. MF throws out the ultimate, and nothing. That big old Braum shield.
Yeah, great communication that they were going to go for that. It was a real shame that it didn't work as well as it should have.
Going back in here. Oh, the stuns are coming out from both sides. Alexander taking the fight, but doesn't really want to call it off, it looks like. Meanwhile, Gragas is coming up top here. He does have his ultimate ready, but not gonna do anything with it. Orn is able to get out of there.
Yeah. It's a kind of a weird angle there. He went all the way around the wall. I know it was warded in the river, but with his flash up, I think he had the ability to hit him with the body slam. So I guess a little bit too much respect from the TV there, but still good job letting the Jacks kind of stay up there for free.
So far, MF has already got her serrated Dirk and a couple of long swords there. Looking for that nasty stuff.
Yeah, typically you like to see that lethality build onto the MF now with her ultimate, with her Q, things like that.
Ooh, Memento is going to go in on Alexander thus again, but Memento takes one heavy hit from that brittle hit there.
Yeah. It's called a clap. He got clapped. That's what that is. That's what the official term in the league definition is, clap. That's what Orn does. He claps people.
He got hit with some brittle. He was brittled and then hit. But Alexander gonna go in on Memento. Memento calling in with the Counter-Strike. Orn is gonna throw out the ultimate and actually kills him with it.
Yeah.
Impressive.
Yeah, great job by Alexander. It was a little bit of a misplay, I think, by Memento because he like used his Counter-Strike, or he used his Counter-Strike very early. Oh wait, where is he? Oh.
Beautiful fight right there. It's Amumu is really trying to get away from all of this, but it's not gonna happen. MF just continues to kite him back. Alistair throwing him towards the tower. Ali does go down, but Gragas really wants to try to pick up something off the end of this. Orianna does come down. Nothing else can come of any of it. Orianna's gonna get the slow.
Pretty even trade there. Great job by both teams coming down and reinforcing that bot lane. I think it was just a 1-for-1 trade, maybe. I think 1-for-1 trade in the end for Alistar for the Ashe again. So,
Memento is gonna get in here onto the Alexander. Alexander is just not gonna have any of it. Trying to walk away. Memento fairly low. Alexander gonna try to do something. Does get the knock up onto the wall there. Alexander does pop his ultimate. The Counter-Strike does come out. Not gonna do anything. That was a weird interaction. Leaping onto the ward there. Memento having to get out of that.
Yeah, the mid-leap clap, I believe, is as it is referred to by league professionals in all aspects, but it was in a weird interaction. I'm still curious what is happening with his build. Again, I've tried to bring it up a couple of times. This Colossus with an immediate Tiamat is a little bit weird. You tend to see like press the attack because it just ramps his damage so fast. But with Colossus, or my bad, with Conqueror, you'd want attack speed.
But TV Bear gonna go in on this Echo here. Aslan Man going really low. The Knights coming out from both parties, I believe. Oh no, the Orn ultimate does come in though, and Orianna does pick off the Echo. Meanwhile, Gragas taking loads of damage from Alexander and having to use his big barrel there to try to disengage. Has to dash away from Canadian Champ and Alexander both on his tail, but Jax is going to come in. He lines up the Counter-Strike. He does land it on Alexander, but Alexander is going to return the fire with a stun against the wall. Memento also getting very low and having to get away. Braum is also coming up in the backline here. The ultimate does come out. It does miss, but Amumu does throw out the ultimate and catch Memento right there under tower.
Yeah, a very elongated fight. I like how both of these teams are really able to help and come and support in these skirmishes, but just get out-rotated a little bit. They committed way too hard for the kill onto the Gragas, and they lose their mid tower. That's tower 1 down, and it's mid-outer, which is a very hard one to get, so great job by FSG on the out-rotation.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't worth for them, as FSG looked like they're going to be picking up or getting ready. No, they decided to opt out of the Mountain Drake. But we do have a pause coming out. So, thus far into the game, we've got a 1.6k or 1.3k gold difference for FSG. They've got the first tower and the dragon.
Yeah.
What does Phoenix Rising have to do to try to even this out a little bit better?
So Phoenix Rising right now has the advantage of having the Amumu and the Ornn both really ahead. So their front line is a lot stronger than the front line. I mean, Alistar is really the only real frontline champion at the moment. So Ornn and Amumu being frontline and being ahead in gold means these team fights are going to be very difficult for the 4-man to fight. So they need to start taking...
We're going to get back into the game here. Lucis Goose is going to go in onto the Echo. Echo getting stunned, and Lucis Goose is just going to have to back off because a Braum did show up. Sorry about that.
No worries, yeah. Yeah, like I said, these teams they're all really, really good at coming and supporting their players when they are getting engaged upon by 1 or 2 people. They turn every 1v1 into a skirmish.
Looks like FSG is going to try to secure this Mountain Drake here. Canadian Champ and Darkis are here. They're looking like they want to try to make something happen. Ash is there on the backline as well. It looked like they were just trying to get the pick off on the Dragon, but it was unsuccessful.
Yeah, Mumu doesn't have his ultimate right now, so I don't think they felt comfortable engaging into the 4-man with the MF ult up, with the Orianna ult up. So little bit of good decisiveness from the side of Phoenix Rising.
You just got to go for it.
You just gotta go for it.
You just gotta go for it.
But what happens when they go? If Amumu goes in with no ultimate, the second he Qs, he's now just a sitting brick. He just does nothing from that point on.
Oh, Memento taking quite a bit of damage from under the tower, and Alexander does get the stun off on the wall there. He does throw out the ultimate. It does miss. Memento still trying to maintain what he's got, but Alexander really wants him. He's going deep. He's going ham. Memento jumping back, but Alexander does land another knockup, and with a fiery breath takes him down. But TV Bear is here to try to respond to that. He's doing a little bit of damage, and Alexander's dishing it back in some heavy amount of force here. TV Bear pushing as hard as he can, using everything he's got in the kit, and does finally take him down. But here in the bot lane, Phoenix Rising does take that bottom tower. Canadian Champ is here. Lucis a Goose sees him going in. MF trying to find the follow-up. And it looks like, no, they are going to get collapsed on. Echo coming from the side into the jungle. MF throwing out the ultimate. Doesn't find anybody really with it. Amumu throws out his ultimate. MF getting locked up. Goes down to the Ignite. And there goes the Alistar to the Echo.
Wow, fantastic job.
And that's going to be a tower for them.
Yeah, the sudden better rotations here from... but they lose their mid tower. Okay, so they still traded evenly in tower. Great job by Phoenix Rising over this last few things. They lose their top laner, but there was a traded 1-for-1 kill. So they get 2 kills, they get a tower. They're starting to climb back into the game really well, and that's because of the use of these tanks, and I like that a lot.
Yeah, the Jax doesn't look like it's paying off for them really too much. Jax putting a lot of pressure onto that tower, but still doesn't have too much damage to do anything with it. He's really got to get that Triforce out to really be an effective Jax. But Alex Skander's going to get caught out here. Memento throwing out the Counter-Strike, but it does not land. He's going to try to chase him out of this while FSG tries to secure the Rift Herald here.
Yeah, so I think FSG needs to start grouping the Orianna with the MF, because that's how a lot of their team fight damage comes out, is the combination of those two abilities. With the Braum, it's difficult for just MF to win a team fight on her own with her ultimate, so they need to get those two players together, and that's how they can start beating these tanks in the skirmishes. We haven't seen much of Ori in the game so far, so...
Okay, well, we've got Alex Skander, Kaze, and Darkis here looking to try to get something. Ash and Ornn are also there. But I think they're just going to kind of call it quits, take this tower. FSG looking like they might want to do something, or they might just want to defend.
Yeah, the FSG getting a little bit out macroed here. They took the Rift Herald, but then they had to give up. They gave up top tower to 4 people. So on the out rotation, Jax does have free reign in the bot lane, and Orianna has free reign mid. She's now coming up, but the fight's already over. So Phoenix Rising just gets to walk out with what they wanted in the end anyway.
Yeah, not too much coming out of this for FSG. Really what it's going to boil down to is Memento being in the bot lane, putting some pressure on, but Canadian Champ is there. Canadian Champ does land the bandage toss, but Memento taking huge amounts of damage, actually goes down to the ultimate of Amumu, but TV Bear up in the mid lane does get a decent amount of damage onto that Ashe in the backline. The Ornn ultimate is called out, hits everybody. Oh, the Brittles all around. Can they do anything here? No, everybody's gonna back out and regroup for this upcoming fight. FSG taking the better end of that.
Yeah, FSG has much higher health bars, and but I mean the cooldowns are still there. They still have Echo ult, they still have Ashe ult, but the health bars are just too low for a re-engage. They might be able to push for this mid inhib tower.
Yes, we do see Shelly here coming in to do some damage to that mid tower. We've got 4 members of FSG taking that down. They don't want any more. They're just going to back off. I feel like that's a little bit of a waste of a Shelly there, but all right.
Crack of the base is always useful. Sometimes teams, you can get 6 towers, you can get on a massive roll, and where you get stalled out is at those inhib towers. You definitely could have probably put that top for 2 outer towers, got more gold value out of it, but cracking the base is sometimes so difficult that it is definitely worth at least getting that. So it probably not the most efficient gold-wise, but definitely very important for game flow and tempo for the side of FSG.
Yeah, for sure, and it looks like Phoenix is just going to continue on down to this dragon here, maybe prep it up or at least get some vision of it. I'm not 100% sure. It looks like it's an Infernal Drake, but FSG is here too, but Canadian Champ going to go in on the Alistar along with Alex Skander. Alistar getting very, very low. Ashe just demolishing his health.
Yeah. So now priority of this bear or this dragon area is over to Team Phoenix Rising. They might just have to seed this Infernal Drake unless they still want the engagement. Doesn't look like they do. Yeah, they're just going to give it up.
Yeah, losing that Alistar is kind of a big deal.
They still have some of their team fight. They still had Orianna.
Ooh, Orianna getting caught out here. Canadian Champ throwing out the ultimate, but so does Orianna. Gragas using his as well for a little bit of a disengage. Didn't necessarily need to do it. It never hit anybody.
Yeah.
But we're going to see a little bit of a fight in this middle area for this mid tower here. TV Bear getting nice and deep into their front line. MF throwing out her ultimate, not really doing too much with it. TV does get really, really low, but here in this backline, Ornn is also getting very, very low. TV very low as well, but Orianna does pick off the Ornn, but meanwhile, the Amumu coming in onto the Gragas and taking him out very, very quickly.
These fights are insanely scrappy. I love it.
The trades are just not going in FSG's favor, and we got Canadian Champ going in on Alistair again. Not getting anything. He does get head-butted away.
A great job by Loose as a Goose to get him over that wall.
Canadian Champ looks like he really wants to try to get this Alistair. He does go back in under the tower.
Oh.
The ultimate does not there for him, but Misfortune picks him off, and Echo coming in and getting the Alistair. But Misfortune getting Echo as well. So getting that shutdown gold off of somebody with a double kill. That's pretty nice.
Yeah, no kidding. Great plays right there. A lot of this is Aslan Man. Aslan Man is making some really good plays with the Orianna shields, the Orianna ultimates, and even getting that trade kill with the MF onto the Echo there. Great job by him. He's been playing immaculately today. I really like it. All the cleanse plays, not taking any ganks and dying to it. We said earlier in the cast that the Orianna ults are what's going to determine this game, and so far that's been the case. When he hits a good Orianna ult, they win these fights.
Yeah, you'll notice Aslan Man is actually 3-0 right now, so doing really good for himself. On the other side of that, though, you've got Jax, who's 0-4, still trying to finish something.
His first item, his first item.
Meanwhile, we've got Darkis going in on the Alistair here, but just doing some little pokey trades, trying to keep him away from that little scuttle there. It looks like FSG might want to try to do something here, maybe.
Well, they have Baron vision now.
Yeah.
They don't take Baron very fast though, so they have to kind of be. This is really just more of a preemptive thing, so that they can set up a team play around the Baron. Without Jax being online yet, he did just finish his Triforce, and he now has Asterix or the Jarm's Fist. So he does have a bit more than he had just a second ago. So maybe he can start actually doing things in the side lanes.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to see how that scales up as he, gets to the point where he can actually join the team or get some picks. Not too much going on right now. Just a lot of farming that jungle, getting those Raptors.
Yeah, getting the wards down especially. They still have quite a bit warded around the Baron area from the side of FSG, so their warding is very, very good. See Echo just chilling in the jungle, defending his ward.
Yeah, both teams know that they're there. They all know that they want that Baron. It's how they're going to play into this that really makes a big difference here.
Yeah, Memento pushing in that bot lane so he can be here for this Baron when he needs. They have to be careful. They need to keep mid lane priority, otherwise they could definitely lose positioning on this Baron. You now see Memento heading up towards the top side, pushing that out so that they can keep top and mid pushed while they try to keep the Baron area under control.
Oh, but the Ash Arrow is going to land on the Aslan, man. The Ornn ultimate is going to come out. TV Bear taking tons of damage. The MF ult not going to really find anything, though. As Alexander going in with a charge along with Canadian Champ, landing the ultimate onto Orianna. Orianna does go down. That is going to be the tower as well. Ornn going down to the MF. And Echo taking out the Alistair.
Yeah, that might actually be game here. I don't
Rom
know.
actually killed Jax, too.
Yeah, they have 20 seconds. Yeah, they could probably go inhib tower and then go right to Baron if they want to. That's probably what they'll end up doing. Great engagement by Canadian Champ on that one. He prevented the Oriole from coming out. Loose as a Goose looked like he had the ball on him, and instead of W queuing into the middle of the team, he just queued, got one person, and then they got re-engaged on and lost the fight. So
yeah,
also,
Darkis really doing a great job with his shield placement there as well. Really shielding the whole team from MF's ultimate.
Yeah, it was fantastic. The only person that took any damage from it was the Ornn, and the Ornn has so much armor it wasn't actually doing damage to him. So, like, nobody took any damage from the MF ult, which is exactly what you want if you're on the side of Phoenix Rising.
Yeah, for sure. And it looks like FSG is going to continue this little ward war here over by the Baron. And it looks like Phoenix is also going to continue their ward war on this Baron as well. They do catch out, loses a goose. The Ashe is doing a bit of damage. Oh, but loses a goose is gonna get caught out by the Echo, and Ashe just obliterating that health.
Yeah, now with the Blade of the Rune King, with the BF sword, all the attack speed that she has, there isn't much he can do. When he gets tagged by that Braum Q, if the Ashe is around, he's probably going to die. That's just what's going to happen.
Yeah, I feel like FSG at this point is in a position... Alistair's just not tanky enough to be able to base check anything anymore.
Yeah, and the ultimate I don't think he has rank 2 ultimate yet. I'll have to check his level. He might... Last time I saw he was level 10. He might be a level 11 now, though, but that rank 2 ultimate definitely... Yeah, he's still level 10, so he only has rank 1 ultimate right now. So he actually, that's 40% compared to, I think, 60% damage reduction, which is pretty significant in the grand scheme of things. So one more level of experience, and he might have survived something like that. Yeah,
and so we did see Phoenix pick off that Baron, and in response, FSG decided to I can't talk. They decided to get that Cloud Drake, so they have 3 dragons to Phoenix's 1.
Mm-hmm. Still just feels like a consolation prize, though, to that Baron now. The siege from this team is going to be huge. Having Baroned up minions is going to make their life much harder, especially with the Amumu and the Ornn and the Engage that this team has. If FSG wants a chance at winning this game, they have to stall and wait for that damage to run out, because eventually it will. But until then, they might just have to hope for a wonderful Orianna ult, a wonderful Misfortune ult where you can get it onto 5 targets. Otherwise, they might just not have a chance in this game anymore.
Well, Jax has finished his Titanic Hydra, so we might be seeing him come online now. You see him grouping with the team a little bit more.
Yeah, it might be a little too late, unfortunately, for the Jax. He is ahead in farm of the Ornn right now, but at this point, the Ornn probably just does more in team fights with the ultimate, with the tankiness. It's just too much. The Jax pick, for all intents and purposes, just hasn't worked out the way it
is going to try to catch out Canadian Champ here. A little bit of damage going on to him, but Canadian Champ finds Orianna. The Ornn throwing out the ultimate towards Orianna doesn't land it. Memento actually taking down the Amumu. Echo is here to try to save him, but didn't happen soon enough. Echo does get the kill, though. And here we've got Alistair getting stunned up, taking huge amounts of damage, and Alexander getting into that base, dishing out what he can. Everybody on FSG super low. This could be the end of the first game here, as we see 2 inhibitors going down. We still have 4 members of FSG coming back into this after a little bit of heal. Alistair landing a beautiful ultimate, but goes down instantly along with Gragas. Orianna really trying to do what she can, but not enough damage coming out from her. But the Ashe does go out. Can they get the rest of them in time? No, it does not look like it's going to happen. Oh, Orianna does get that Echo out of there, trying to do something with the Braum. Braum does go down. Ornn, almost full health Jax chasing him down, doing a lot of damage now, but I don't think it's going to matter. We've got Winions with Baron buff, and that's going to be the end of the first game.
A great job on the side of Phoenix Rising. They had a little bit of a deficit there, but they found one weakness, took one T-fight, and just won the game. Great job. One mistake from FSG.
Yeah, unfortunately, it just took Jax a little bit too long to come line in that game. I feel like if they would have had a different top lane pick, they might have done a lot better. But they were essentially down 1 man through most of that game.
Yeah, the other big thing is that picking that tank was a risk because of the lack of damage, but they were able to keep up because of Alexander's tankiness. He was just so tanky in that end game. Killing him was very near impossible for basically any member of FSG. So once he started getting involved in these fights, it became so much harder. So not only was the Jax not really super good, it was also that Alexander played very, very well in this game.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we're going to take a little bit of a break here. And we will end up catching you on the flip side of that with Game 2.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Games XP stream. We are here with Full Send Gaming versus Phoenix Rising Game 2. After Game 1, Phoenix Rising is currently up in the series 1-0. So we're going to step into the draft phase here in just a second. We're going to go back into Pro Draft, so we'll hear it, we'll talk through it, and we'll see what changes will come about from last game. Hopefully some big ones from FSG. There were some issues specifically out of that top lane, and even some of the MF pick I think were a little bit difficult. Also, in case you're wondering why you're only hearing one voice, it's just me for the minute. Jimmy McBritish will be back momentarily. So I'm just going to talk you through Pro Draft because everybody likes Pro Draft, that's for sure. So first two bans, we see Yasuo Lucian again from the side of FSG. And yeah, so same ban so far, but now the Amumu switch. FSG taking the Amumu away from Team Phoenix Rising. Gangplank Graves both taken off from the side of TPR, same as last game as well. This time the Ari also taken away. I think that got through last time. I believe it got through, or it got banned. It was one of the two. I'm pretty sure they banned it last game. It was on the board last game somewhere, but doesn't matter. FSG comes out, picks the Kai'Sa first, replacing their MF from last game, saying a little bit more scaling in their composition is probably what they're looking for. Team Phoenix Rising at the Warwick right now. See if we switch that away or if that stays. That's going to stay. We haven't seen Warwick in a little bit of a while. He was that really dominant champion for so long, then took some nerfs. Really haven't seen him much since then, but he's still a very, very strong champion in the right hands. We'll have to see how Team Phoenix Rising uses it. Also in Ornn, I think that was locked in. I don't see the character right now, but we do see the Ornn is locked in on the side of TPR as well. Sejuani taken for FSG as a counter to the Warwick. We'll wait and see what we have next. So we have a Warwick-Sejuani coupling. I think Warwick wins that early duel, and he also ganks a lot easier than a Sejuani would in the early game. So he's going to have dominion of the map. We'll have to see how he uses that. We see Bard come out. Really, really interesting draft from FSG. Completely different from what we saw last time. Kai'Sa Bard bot lane is something new. I don't know if we've ever seen that before.
It'll be interesting to say the least.
Yeah, welcome back, Jimmy. How do you feel about the Bard pick?
I mean, Bard's okay.
He's okay.
He's not who I would have picked. His ultimate is just a little too troll for me, but the Kassadin coming out is really surprising.
Yeah.
That
It's a mild surprise given that we haven't seen an AD. We see mostly AP damage right now, but that doesn't mean that they can just shy away from AD. And taking it the back of the third round kind of alludes to the fact that they should be banning it. They ban out the Orianna. See, what I want to see is a Zed or a Yasuo or my bad, the Yasuo's already taken about Zed or Talon, something like that. They could really punish this Kassadin's early game, but they're not doing so. They're taking out the Orianna. We'll see what they take out next.
Yeah, interesting picks thus far. The Nami being banned again, not too shocking, but the Braum getting banned.
Braum, Nami, taken away from the pool.
Yeah, I feel like the Braum was pretty detrimental in that last game to FSG, so taking that away from TPR is not a bad choice.
Yeah, great. He played it very, very well last game. TPR support definitely played it incredibly well. We also see the Zed ban did come out from the side of TPR to protect that Kassadin in the mid lane, thank goodness. That's champion that can definitely exploit Kassadin early. We see TPR go back to the Ashe, I believe. Yeah, he was on Ashe last game as well. So very interesting comps coming out here from both sides.
Yeah, it definitely different. I mean, I think this is the first time I've actually seen Ornn playing this season. Warwick is all right, I guess. I feel like he's more of a solo queue champion. Kind of the same deal with what we saw with Jax last game. I don't feel like he's going to be super effective in this team-oriented aspect of the game. So we'll see how that plays out coming into the mid to late game when they want to do lots of grouping and stuff.
We'll have to see how it works. On the other side, FSG comes out with a Malzahar pick, so their composition has a lot of really good lockdown and pretty decent damage, a little bit different than what we saw last game. We do see the Gnar come out in the top lane, a little bit different from the Jax that we saw, but hopefully works out a little bit better. But so much lockdown. The Sejuani ultimate, you got Gnar ultimate, Malzahar ultimate, Bard ultimate. What do you think they're planning to do with all the CC?
Protect Kai'Sa.
Protect Kai'Sa. That's a good answer.
That's what it's gonna boil down to. You know, you want Mouse to ultimate onto the Warwick to lock him down so Kaiser can pick him off. Meanwhile, Sejuani or Gnar is gonna have to try to focus onto the Kassadin Ashe. Pike, another one of those that you have to kind of look out for. But he can actually deal quite a bit of damage, which is surprising. On the side of TPR, everybody does damage, so it's not a matter of lock down that ADC, get them out of the fight, and then face roll. It's a matter of priorities. Who's more fed? Who do we need to get out the most? Obviously, Kassadin and Warwick, I feel like, are going to be the two highest priorities in this game. So I feel like those are going to be kind of the things to watch.
Absolutely. I see a little bit of difference in that I think FSG has pretty solid lane priority across the board. The Ornn versus Gnar is, I think, a little Ornn favored in the early game during the laning phase, and as is the Warwick. The Warwick definitely favored over the Sejuani, but that mid lane should go to Malzahar. His wave clear is much better than Kassadin's in the early game, and then the Kai'Sa and the Bard have at least comparable dueling power to the Ashe Pike in the early game, so definitely could play a lot more volatilely, but great draft. I like these drafts from both teams in this.
Yeah, both are fairly solid compositions. TPR really looking for those picks and just kind of shutting everybody down early, but FSG really wanting to take it to that mid game and really dominate with the 5-mans.
Yeah, so I think, you were talking a bit earlier about protecting the Kai'Sa. We also have a Kassadin on the other side. He can do the kind of same thing in the other game. So it's a tale of two carries. You've got the Kai'Sa versus the Kassadin. Let's say both of them get fed. Which team do you favor around? Like, to me at least, I think that FSG's comp is better at protecting that Kai'Sa and team fighting outside of just the Kai'Sa. But what do you think? What are your thoughts on that?
I think I'm gonna have to go with you. I just feel like TPR doesn't have enough disengage kite ratio to be able to really protect the Kassadin.
Absolutely. Also, the Warwick and Pike make a mean roaming comp, though, or a set of roamers, though. You can come into any lane with a Warwick and a Pike, and you can walk out very easily with a kill if things aren't worded. So we have to have map control from FSG if they don't want to fall behind early, especially with a Sejuani in the jungle.
Yeah, definitely. It's gonna be a tale of two swords.
So, talk to me about is there a difference? Are we going to see FSG win this game with this new composition, or are things going to happen last time? Remember last game we were talking about how FSG's composition seemed to be superior to the side of FFP or Phoenix Rising, but that wasn't the case. Phoenix Rising walked out with it. So do you think this composition will win, or do you think that Phoenix Rising is just a better team in general?
I think FSG has a really good chance of taking this one. The biggest problem with last game is they were unable to get the big wombo combos out that they were wanting to, and a lot of that has to deal with the pressure from the Amumu always coming in from the side and locking onto that Orianna, or the Misfortune. The Braum just utterly stopped everything that they were trying to do. So there wasn't much that they could do in that composition style versus this. They're more or less trying to get picks on TPR's side, where FSG, they're all going to be around Kai'Sa in that mid to late game. So I feel like that's going to be their best bet. I don't think they have enough damage. Don't get me wrong, they got damage, but they don't have enough damage to get through Gnar, Sejuani, Bard, and then have to try to get next to Kai'Sa or Malzahar to get a pick. I don't think is going to happen. I think Kai'Sa and Malzahar in the mid game are going to be stuck together like glue.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a little bit interested in seeing the kind of keystones we're going to see in this game. So starting from FSG side, we have Gnar. Gnar can take things like Glacial Augment. I know a lot like to take Airy on him or Fleet Footwork, I know is a pretty good lane priority type thing. We know the Bard. The Bard usually takes Electrocute with those nerfs. It shouldn't hit him too hard because he does like to hit it quite often with the Q auto, with the Chime, procs it very often, but we'll see if he still goes that Electrocute style or goes more towards a defensive kind of thing. Kassadin, we see Fleet Footwork Kassadin quite a bit, Grasp of the Undying as well. Both of those very good options on a Kassadin to keep him safe in that mid lane. And I don't actually know what you run on Warwick. I'm pretty sure Press the Attack was the last thing, but Predator definitely could make an impact on him. So we'll have to see where the Keystones go.
Yeah, with this particular matchup, I feel like Kaisa having Press the Attack would actually benefit her the most because 3 of these guys are fairly squishy. Once we get to that mid or late game, it's not going to really matter too much with the 3 auto attack proc versus, having the little bit of heal that Fleet Footwork is going to give you. In the early game, I think Press the Attack is going to be a lot better on the Kaisa.
Okay. You think of the Press the Attack on the Kaisa. We'll have to see how these two teams play out with one another. I want to thank everybody. I'll take a moment before the game starts here to thank everybody for tuning in. We are very joyed to have you here. This is a great matchup, and we're happy that everybody gets to share this with us. We're happy to cast for you. Thank you to our sponsors. We're going to be showing you we're going to take a short break here before the game starts, but please, please, please stick around, watch more games, and we love doing this. So definitely stick around and support us.
My name is Tim Borseth, and I own and operate Games XP in Decorah, Iowa. Games XP is a geek paradise. We carry everything from Pong and Atari all the way to Xbox One and PS4, and all the games that would go with those consoles as well. We also carry a ton of movies. We have handheld games. We have Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Pokemon. We have D&D and Pathfinder. We carry Warhammer 40K. We have a vintage Star Wars selection. This place is great. My wife and I have had 6 kids, and they are so much fun to work with here at the store. They run the store as much as I do.
And we now repair cell phones, game consoles, computers, and small electronics.
Our store is instant fun. Not only is there cool music and cool stuff to look at, but we have a game room that is so much fun. It's free to play, and you just plug in your game system and enjoy life. The Game XP motto is bringing joy to people's lives through our products, people, and a place to play. So you have got to come to Decorah, Iowa, and check out Games XP and experience this geek gaming paradise.
Welcome back, everybody, to Games XP. This is still, we already have a disconnect, but Phoenix Rising versus FSG in Full Send Gaming. We already have our first disconnect, and this wouldn't be Games XP without some disconnects in this game.
Yeah, luckily Warwick, he's watching out for us. He says, the support DC'd. Sorry, Twitch and casters, etc.
What would be a GXPC game without a disconnect? Right there from the players' mouths themselves. We do see an interesting start here from the side of that is FSG. Yeah, FSG on the blue side coming into stack in this mid-river, and Kassadin won't actually be in the mid lane in time to see it because he went a different route. Looked like he was going to that side post, which is where you should go if you are a mid laner. You need to put your jungler mid so they don't know which side he's preferencing. But we're going to see the 5-man stack here, and unfortunately, it looks like maybe the Pike's going to get there late. So because they know that this guy disconnected, they could take advantage of that fact, and they could walk into that bush and maybe catch this Pike off guard.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. It's definitely going to be something to watch. You really got to pay attention even to these minor details. They can kind of make or break a game, and having the knowledge that Pike had to DC and reconnect, they already know he's still relatively close to that fountain.
Absolutely. Point out a few of the keystones we were talking about a little bit earlier. We do see the Electrocute on the Bard, not a huge shocker. We see Airy on the Gnar, that's a pretty common one. We do see Fleet Footwork a little bit more often now, but Airy's still a great option. Kassadin taking that Fleet Footwork, definitely what is the expected. And we're back into the game, folks. This is going to be an exciting one. Hopefully we see an engage. So I don't know if Ash saw them. I don't think he. Okay, they did. They did see them. They have to back off now because Ash was able to spot them out there. Unfortunate for the side of FSG. I like the idea, but they were able to sniff it out.
Meanwhile, you've got TPR rotating to try to take the enemy blue buff away, and Bard looks like he might catch something he doesn't want to over here. Rabies. He might catch rabies.
Might catch rabies over there. So unfortunately, as somebody who plays Bard more often than he's willing to admit, that man was only collecting a chime. He had no clue what he was doing in that topside jungle. So if that chime had spawned a little bit different location, he could have walked to his demise. But they're going to be lucky here. Nobody spots them out, and he's going to get an idea of his pathing, of the Sejuani's pathing with that ward as well. So great start by Phoenix Rising, reading this invade, and then immediately swapping over to the blue.
So if you bet on FSG, you've already lost game 1, unfortunately. And coming into game 2, we're a little short-sighted, so...
There's still always a chance. Both teams do great work, and that's why we have this league in general. Every team can win on any given day, unless you're playing White Lotus. Apparently, that just doesn't happen. So, oh, RD, my bad. I forgot RD beat them just earlier this season. That's a shame. See, now I'm upset because I got that wrong. So now I'm wrong. See, everyone's fallible in the end. That's what we learned from this experience.
I'm not gonna point out all of the flaming you're getting from the Twitch chat right now.
Twitch chat is flaming me. See, this is the issue. Twitch chat. You have to understand that people make mistakes. All right.
Twitch chat's not actually flaming you. I'm just calling you out.
Oh, okay. So now you're lying to me. See, what am I supposed to believe now? I don't know that what you're saying is the truth now.
I speak no truths, only lies.
Typical paradox to ruin my night now. Now I'm not going to be able to sleep tonight thinking of that. You see a little bit of action here in the bot lane. Nothing crazy, though. Aslan Man taking a little bit of a trade. I couldn't remember his name, my bad. But I saw him take a little bit of a trade with K's there, but didn't even get his shield pop till the end. Ooh, the Gnar boomerang. Unfortunate. Oh, he's going to come back in. Alice Gander getting his Ornn 2 games in a row was a shocker. He was great on this pick earlier. Maybe he just feels Memento feels much better on the Gnar, but still a little bit insane that he would be able to get this pick twice in a row.
Yeah, I don't really agree with letting him have that pick. Maybe he just felt that it was more or less the Jax that ruined that game, and not so much the Ornn. So they probably just didn't feel it was a huge threat.
Ooh, okay, very interesting is that Warwick got that bottom side scuttle, and Sejuani is looking for him, but she never secured top side scuttle. So she has no idea that it's still up right now, and neither does Warwick. So Warwick is up by 2 camps. She's going to go to her Krugs, but it looks like he'll get an out-rotate first towards this bot lane. We'll have to see if he does go for that or not. He might go for the Cloud Drake, though. He can definitely solo. Warwick can definitely solo this at level 3, but he's going to have to do this uninterrupted by the Sejuani. The pressure is for the Ashe right now, so gladly take that one. I don't think they're going to be able to sniff this out. I think Warwick's just going to be able to steal a quick Cloud Drake with nothing else. Great job by him being able to do that so far.
What a sneaky dog.
Sneaky dog.
It's a sneaky dog.
Isn't he a wolf?
I mean, isn't Alistair... Isn't Alistair a bipedal cow?
Them, like we're descendant from, not humans, but you don't call us, the not humans. You just call us, people, because we're people. You see action in the bot lane there, a little bit of trading. Dark Quest tanking tower, but it means nothing because he's Pike, so he gets all of that health back. One of the best features of the champion. Gladly taking those trades. Yeah, both top laners, I think, also got a back. Oh, man. Got clapped. There it is, Twitch chat. That's the clap that we've been talking about this entire game. Memento taking one of those brittle auto attacks from the Ornn. What's happening right now? So the Warwick actually has a massive... They still haven't taken the topside Scuttle Crab. It's still not gone.
Warwick wants it. Warwick will take
Warwick
it.
wants it now. Okay, but that was the first. That isn't the first scuttle crab to spawn. That is one of the first two from the spawn of the game. That is
Warwick
a
don't mind.
Warwick don't mind. I mean, he'll take it gladly. I mean, I don't blame him. Like, taking that's just free gold, but he's pretty far ahead of the Sejuani at this point, but he hasn't backed yet, so he's in kind of a bad place if he is to be caught by her.
Yeah, we've got Sejuani sitting at 24 CS to Warwick's 36.
Yeah, and he can still clear down. I believe his Raptors will respawn after he takes those Krugs, and after that, the Wolves respawn, so he has great timings here. He won't be available if he does this full clear, but the Sejuani isn't likely to gank yet, and his lanes aren't losing very well. In fact, actually, Kassadin's ahead in farm right now to the Malzahar, which is a tad shocking that he doesn't do much damage. Get a Bard stun here, but with the addition of Pike, they're going to be able to slow him. The Ignite went down, but he missed the stun. Unfortunate for Dark Quest, but I love the aggression from him on this pick.
Yeah, and as we were talking about CS leads, Ashe is actually winning that lane as well as Pike winning versus the Bard. I mean, Bard doesn't want CS.
Bard does want CS. We just don't take it. We see some action here in the top lane. Memento just bullying out Xander a little bit, but no intent to kill yet. When he comes back into Little Gnar, he might be able to get some pressure down because now he can chunk him with that passive, but I'm not sure that it'll be enough into Alexander's Ornn. He also has Sejuani on this top side, so it's a little bit of a rough proposition, but still the health advantage helps Memento feel better in this top lane. So
Nothing too crazy happening so far, unlike the last game where it got very Clown Fiesta very quick.
Yeah, absolutely. A little bit more tame approach to this kind of game. Looks like Bard helping out his jungle a little bit while collecting some chimes. Gotta appreciate that. Grabbed boots and his upgraded support item. Ashe going for the Bilgewater Cutlass, whereas the Kai'Sa went right for the BF sword. Kassadin went right for Tyr. That's something common. We're gonna have to see if that top lane amounts to anything that... Okay, nothing happened additionally. Yeah, just Alexander still able to stay in this top lane with the Gnar despite having only about a quarter of a health bar. That bottom by Canadian champion he hasn't given, or by the side of Phoenix Rising, so they haven't lost a scuttle yet. Still, not a massive advantage on either side. About 600 gold, but most of that is in the jungle. About half of it on the Warwick over the Sejuani. Here he comes into the top lane. Oh, great hop from Memento, but the suppression's going to get him. He's going to die. Yep, Warwick gets the first kill. They're coming in the bot lane through the portal. The ult misses the Ashe. Great flash. Dark Quest is able to get a stun out and then flashes out, so nothing to be had here in the bot lane. Oh, they're going to turn... Okay, the heal comes out from Snippet, able to keep TV alive for a little bit longer. We're going to have to see the pull comes in on Snippet. I don't know that they want this still. The stun going to come out. Don't know. Dark Quest isn't going to have his ultimate. Dark Quest does get the kill anyway with the auto attack. He's still here. They can still fight this. We have to see if he's able to hit anything. Now, just misses that. The minion blocked his grab of the Bard. Otherwise, it could have been another kill over to the side of Team Phoenix Rising. Great job by them across the board.
Yeah, not played out very well from the Sejuani, missing that ultimate there.
Yeah, as soon as the ultimate came out... Oh, they're going to do it. No, he's not going to do it. I thought he was going to ult under tower and then try to come back out, but with no flash, didn't feel comfortable with it. I don't know that they needed to continue with that. They had a great start with the with burning the flash from Ashe, but as soon as they continued, I think that's where things started to have problems. I don't think they needed to continue pushing their advantage there, and that's what kind of lost them that trade in the end.
Yeah, I would think Kai'Sa went a little too deep there. Not really worth, obviously.
Definitely not respecting the damage output of the Pike this early. Other things to note, the Kassadin's still very even right now with the Malzahar. Ooh, great little interaction there. The dash into the ultimate from Gnar. Neither gets anything that they want right there, so... Are they going to get it?
Meanwhile...
they got the first scuttle of the game. Congratulations to FSG securing their first scuttle.
Ashe is actually up almost 20 CS to the Kai'Sa.
Yeah, about 10 CS in the top lane, 20 CS out of the bot lane. Kassadin has not fallen behind. 25 CS out of the jungle, pretty massive. So great job from these teams, from the side of Phoenix Rising. My apologies. They're doing a great job in the CS game right now.
Yeah, all of that is contributing to the like 3.5K gold lead that they have.
We just see some aggression here. This is a Malzahar and a... Oh, the sun's going to come out. It's going to cancel it. This still should be a kill. Yeah, Loses a Goose actually takes that one away. Oh, Nutrix actually gets the kill onto Aslan, man. He's cut off completely. Kaze and Nutrix looking to secure the kill onto the TV. Kassadin's going to get that one too. Kills all over the place. All traded for one. So 2 for 1 right there. Getting kills onto the Kassadin, the Ashe for the Warwick kill. Great job again by Team Phoenix Rising. They're just showing how much more competent they are. A dive under tower here. Ultimate's going to come out. I don't know if he's going to be able to kill him. Anyway, the clap is going to get him. Is he going to get out? Yes, he is. Great job by Memento, knowing the limits of this champion.
Yeah, and this is exactly what I was talking about. You know, Phoenix is looking to get the easier picks in this early game. Once we start seeing some towers go down, I think the tides are going to change a little bit.
Absolutely. Despite having that really hard scaling mid laner in the Kassadin, they haven't really lost pressure around the map. This Warwick pick really working out. They're securing another dragon here. Aslan Man's in the area, but I don't know if he's going to be able to do anything. Loses a Goose coming in around. Ultimate isn't up by everybody but Snippet. Snippet's the only one with the ultimate, but they're still going to have to back off because Canadian champion is just too low right now. Red team still get the dragon here, and the fight ensues. They get a kill onto the Warwick. They get traded onto the Sejuani here. Yeah, another kill onto the Kaiser is able to get Pike, but it looks like Aslan Man's going to go down to Kaze. That's right. Yeah, another trade kill. Great job. Snippet's out of mana as well. We're going to have to see. It looks like Loses a Goose probably is going to be able to stop him, so he just pulls off. Great 2 for 2. And the dragon secure from the side of Phoenix Rising. Again, just taking advantage of their superior fighting. Just as I say that, Nutrinix gets that. Oh, and the Bard ult that you were talking about.
Yeah, the lovely Bard ult.
The lovely Bard ult that gets effectively nothing. Oh, they're going to stun Alistander into the turret. Without any mana, I'm not sure if they're able to actually get anything. They're not. Yeah, they're just going to back off here. Warwick actually pumps his W. He's going to go hunting for somebody, but he's not able to find anybody on that one, so it's a little bit of a wasted ability. Great job throughout by Phoenix Rising, and a great job by Loses a Goose to find that last pick to get them something for Snippet. Snippet is back in the game with those 3 kills.
Yeah, even though he's down about 15 CS compared to the Ashe, he does have a kill up. Ashe does have the 3 assists though, so their gold should be roughly even.
Their gold is exactly 10 apart. Their gold, Ashe has a 10 gold advantage on the Kaiser, so with that CS advantage, even still, the Ashe just isn't as strong, right? They're comparable in terms of strength. The Mento,
I mean,
standard,
I would beg to differ.
You beg to differ?
I would beg to differ. The Stormrazor, I feel, is a better start than Ashe building her Bork right off the bat.
Okay. Why is that?
Well, back when I played ADC, Stormrazor wasn't a thing, and you just start IE every time. So okay. The Stormrazor is literally like half an IE. And I feel like that's just a way better buy for a first item ADC.
Let's talk about this in a second. Little bit of action in the bot lane. Doesn't look like it's going to get to anything. So you're saying that essentially having that half crit item is just more beneficial than just going right into the on hit of a board. We'll have to see if that analysis holds true. The Ashe should finish her board basically on her next back. The Stormrazor are already completed for the Kaiser. We all know the kind of damage that can put out. We do see it less and less now, though. We tend to see the Rage Blade come out first, rather. But it's still a good build, still a little bit more AD focused with the Malzahar, with the Sejuani, with the Bard. Definitely need a little bit more of that, so we'll look to see that. Rift Herald currently being secured by Warwick on the top side of the map. Here comes Bard into the bot side. I don't think that's going to net any. TV was a little bit late on that one. Otherwise, they might have had something, but they're just going to seed that Rift Herald over to the side of Team Phoenix Rising. Can they do anything to stem this bleeding right now? It just seems like they're giving up so much.
Yeah, really, they just have to hold out until they get to about that 20-minute mark.
More fighting on this top side here. Alexander and Memento doing work, but still nothing. Warwick's just going to walk in front, and they're just going to go for this tower. No need for the Rift Herald drop either. You get first tower secure here. They still have the TV, still have Lucius the Goose. Great ultimate. And the flash away. Dark Quest's going to get out too? No, wait, this bot lane's insane. But the ultimate from the Kai'Sa gets him onto the back line. She has to run out the back. Neutronix able to get 1 kill, not able to get 2 though. Snippet's able to get 1, and Dark Quest gets the other teleport from Kaze though. He's gonna be able to kill Snippet. Oh, Snippet wasn't able to get into the portal. We'll have to see on the other side. Bard didn't stick around, so he wasn't able to ult. Or Q, he wasn't able to Q outside of that portal. Snippet getting chased down by Kaze here. Hard to run from a Kassadin. And there it is. Yeah, the shutdown gold. 4 kill shutdown onto the Kassadin. Great job by him teleporting in and cleaning up that fight at the end.
Yeah, just to point out, Bard died in his little portal. That was an interesting little thing. I don't think I've ever seen that before.
He did? Who did he? Did he die to the Kassadin? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, I didn't see him die to the Kassadin. Maybe what is like a Q that got thrown as he was running through the portal. Great job by Kaze, turning that from a 2-for-1 into a 3-for-2 for the side of Phoenix Rising. This Kassadin pick's working out so well. He's not been shut down by the Malzahar whatsoever, and he's getting so much damage out. Now really ahead of the curve in terms of the mid lane right now. We'll have to see. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to point out that the Twitch chat is screaming about Kai'Sa's name being pronounced wrong, but we have Kai'Sa, and then we have Kaze.
Okay, do they think... Oh, okay, yeah. Is it Kaze or Kai'Sa? Do they want Kai'Sa, or do they want, like, Kasa or, like, Kai'Sa? Like, what do they want? I don't understand.
It's
what
Kai'Sa,
does Twitch
but
chat want from me?
Malzahar is...
No,
Kassadin is playing...
Kaze is playing Kassadin. Yeah. That's correct, yes.
I think they're getting Kaze and Kai'Sa confused.
Oh, I gotcha. Kaze has a Z in it, Twitch chat. Kai'Sa does not have an E in it, just so you guys know. Ornald's getting called here. The ultimate onto Neutronix completely shuts him out there. Dark Quest still able to get out. Great attempt to counter-engage, but great fight there by FSG. Memento getting some work done on the Warwick here in the top lane. Don't know. He might turn an ult if it happens a little bit more. Yeah, I think he's going to have to. Oh, man. The Gnar killed him with that last proc and was able to kill him before he was able to get back on into the face of the Gnar. Great job by him. A little bit of a turn in momentum here for FSG, getting a couple picks.
Yeah, this is exactly what I was talking about. You know, it's really a pick team comp versus, you know, the full force of the team.
Mm-hmm. So which full force do you think is better at this point? If we saw a 5-on-5, who do you expect to win at this point?
FSG. Even though they're down a little bit, they're only down about 3.5k gold, so it's not too detrimental at this point. I mean, it's still quite a big gap for just under 20 minutes, but it's easily manageable. They can close it out.
Yeah, absolutely. Their bot lane actually quite ahead, and given the state of Malzahar and the state of Sejuani, they really only have to get ults and silences, knockups, things like that off in order to be effective in teamfights. So despite the CS difference, despite the gold difference in those positions, they're still able to get some good value out of those picks in the mid and jungle. They're going to kill the Rift Herald here before it got dropped. Unfortunately, it timed out, so Canadian Champ had to use it as fast as possible. That sucks.
A little bit of a waste.
It's a shame when you have to do that, but sometimes you just don't have a good opening for it. So just popping it down and hoping that it at least gets a charge off is the best. But in this case, they were able to stop it as a team, coordinate so that it didn't even get a charge off. Great job by them doing that. Ooh, see an engagement maybe on a Canadian champ, but Q misses from the Sejuani. yeah, not going to get any more procs off. So very close in terms of engagement, but not quite able to get onto Canadian Champ.
Yeah, and again, this is exactly what I was talking about. You know, once FSG starts to group up like this, they're not going to have a lot of chance to get in and get picks with the Warwick and the Kassadin and, you know, Pike, Ashe. It's not going to work too well. Their front line is too big.
Absolutely. Oh, Canadian Champ here. Old snippet right out of it. Kassadin is here. The engagement he gets, a Canadian Champ got ulted. The Kassadin's still up, but he misses. Snippet ults over to the other side, and Darquest hits him through the shield, getting that kill. Memento is here trying to get out. Now he's going to die as well. Goes down to K64, and the tower is here. They have a wave. They might be able to actually kill this bot tower as well. Darquest disconnected, though, so we're going to see a pause here. Yep.
Yeah, and the reason that spiraled out of control is we saw Snippet and Loose as a Goose just get too far away from the team and get separated, and Momentum couldn't really help try to stop what was going on, even with TV, because Aslan was still in the mid lane.
Yeah, I mean, you're seeing the Malzahar, his ultimate is crucial for these team fights, and he's out of the picture. It looks like Sejuani's out of the picture, only really getting an ult off in that fight, not really able to help their carry and their Bard with anything at all. Memento tried to get in and get some sort of engagement off, but at that point, it was too little too late for the team to come through. So great job finding that kind of skirmish, the advantage in terms of numbers on the side of Phoenix Rising.
Yeah.
Kaze? No. Okay, Twitch chat. No, you're all banned. That's it. No, when it's not Kaze, it's Kaze. It's Kaze. Like, okay, if there was an R at the end, you wouldn't say, like, you say, like, it's like taser. Like Kazer. If there's an R at the end, like taser. Like, that's how it works. Like, you don't say Kaze. You don't say Tazer. You don't say Taze. You say taser. So it's Kazer. I don't understand. How is that a discussion that we're about to have in the Twitch chat?
There's no Z in taser.
Okay, but if there were, you wouldn't change how it sounds, though. Why would you do that? If anything,
I don't know. I'm just gonna say.
If anything, it would make it sound more like laser. Like laser spelled with an S, but if it were a Z, it'd sound more like laser. Like laser. I don't care. Twitch chat, you don't know how to spell. You're here for League of Legends. We're not here for a spelling lesson, okay? We're here to watch FSG and Phoenix Rising play. And right now, Phoenix Rising getting the advantage on FSG in this one. What do you think the options are for FSG to get back into this game right now?
Just play to their strengths. Group B is a 5. If FSG is going to do little split push, or TPR is going to do little split pushy things, fine, whatever. Go as a group, cut them down, and continue playing this as a 5-man. You need to be one unit, and they're playing like, a bunch of solo queues right now. You see Gnar down in the bottom. You've got Bard and Sejuani in the top jungle. Kai'Sa's in the middle. Malzahar running up into the middle. No, they're so disconjointed. I don't think they could actually win the game at this point, continuing forward playing like this.
Mm-hmm. The Gnar is built a little bit more for the split push. We see him come over the wall here. Oh, not quite able to get over, unfortunately. But great attempt. I like the idea there. Would have been able to get the pick onto Memento, or my bad, onto Alexander. But still a great job by them. Alexander, I think, still has the advantage. Despite the kind of split push build from the Gnar, he's still just too far ahead to actually do damage to at this point. So I think Alexander still wins this 1v1. The Bard ult's going to miss. Oh, but the Malzahar ult's going to come in, and Kai'Sa's going to get that. Oh, no, Loses Goose is going to take that one away. The stun from Darquest keeps him from getting another kill, but great kickoff onto the Ashe there.
Yeah, and this is exactly what I was talking about. They need to stay as that group. They can get good picks as long as they're grouped up.
Yeah. You need to keep Alexander out of these fights, and you need to keep Kaze, or Kaze, my bad. You need to keep Kaze from diving into their backline and doing so much damage. This skirmish here, get clapped, Memento, but he's going to run out on Big Gnar, or Little Gnar here, or Big Gnar here. While that is happening, this is FSG on Baron, and they know it's happening. Teleport coming in from the Ornn, but he doesn't have tons of health. You're going to have to watch it. The Ornn is going to be coming in here to pick. The FSG secures the Baron. They're going to get 1 kill onto, I believe it was Aslan Man. Are they going to get 3 out, though? Bard is getting chased out by Warwick. TV is going to go down. That's the Pike getting that kill. Darquest, he is in. Is he going to be able to get the Q is the question. Kaze is just able to kill him before Darquest is even near it. And Warwick's going to be able to feel him away. I don't think they walk out. The only Baron they have is on Memento now. Great job cleaning that up by Phoenix Rising.
Yeah, they should have played that a little bit smarter on FSG's side, maybe trying to turn into that as soon as they had some vision of it and dish out more damage rather than focusing the Baron down itself.
Yeah, I think they were worried a little bit by the engagement that could happen from the Ornn, so I don't blame them in that they wanted to try to focus down the Baron so that they don't lose it. Definitely better, but losing that fight is very, very harmful, and now they could actually lose the game off of it. Lose this top ended tower and probably a second mid lane tower. The gold is still swinging in the side of Phoenix Rising, despite the fact that they just lost the Baron. Oh! Sejuani comes out of nowhere, hits ultimate onto Neutronix, and here comes the Kai'Sa. TV still gets the kill, but great job by those two getting another pick off onto the Ashe.
Yeah, at this point, they really got to focus on their objectives. You notice FSG only has 1 tower versus TPR 7. Securing this Mountain Drake is going to help a lot coming into, pushing these towers down, and if and when they can take another Baron.
Yeah, absolutely. We see the Ashe come out with the QSS and obviously is sick of being picked off so much. I think we're running into the territory where the composition of Phoenix Rising, as you were saying, does start to get outscaled in team fighting. The Pike isn't super good in team fights. His ultimate's definitely useful. Kaze trying to chase down Aslan Man. The ultimate comes out onto him, but that's not going to be enough. Darquest flashes in with that E, tries to hit him. Aslan Man going to try to go for the kill here. Bard's going to ult them, keep them safe. And the ultimate goes down, so Pike gets the kill, but the kill gold also goes over to the Cassin. And Memento pushing here in the top lane, ults the waves so that he can get as much of it in as he can. He has that Baron, I believe. He hasn't lost it yet, so his split pushing is dangerous.
Yeah,
oh, my bad. Go ahead.
I feel like if Lucy's a Goose and TV were there with Aslan Man, it would have been a hugely dramatic, or like a huge difference in how that played out.
Yeah, Memento actually taking quite a bit of damage on Alexander here. Flashes in for the W. Going to be able to kill him? Is he going to be able to kill him? No, he's not going to be able to kill him. Now Kaze is here to sweep up the kill. Memento not going to get it. He uses his ultimate for nothing there because Kaze is a dirty, dirty kill thief. But great job by those two, keeping the Gnar off the tower and getting rid of the only Baron left on their team.
I'm gonna stick to my guns. I mean, they really need to play this as a group, and again, we're kind of seeing these little separations. The picks are there. You can see the mistakes on Phoenix's side, but you can also see how apparent the mistakes are on FSG side, not grouping and getting those picks like they should be. Ultimately, that's what they're there to do, is let Kai'Sa get the picks. I feel like too many times she's been KS'd and she hasn't really been able to shine so much. And that's what they need her to do. They need her to hard carry this game for them. And it's at the point where she's going to have a lot of trouble trying to catch back up from that. We look at the gold difference, and we're almost at 10k gold difference.
Yeah, unfortunately, apparently Memento disagrees with your philosophy on this game because he continues. Looks like he's got 2 components of that Rage Blade. Going to be very easy to kill the Ornn after that's done, but unfortunately he's going to be effectively worthless in team fights. Memento and Snippet going to get that kill. Pick off onto Alexander. Great job by Snippet there getting that kill. Great job by Gnar setting that one up for him.
They listened to me a little bit. Continue doing that, and you might win this game.
Yeah. In order to do that, they need to vision control, and they need to be able to rotate faster. Neutronix, Dark Quest, and K's on this bottom tower. The ultimate comes out on the Ash with the instant QSS. The Bardol comes out, not going to be able to hit anybody. Canadian Champ sitting in the jungle. They have 2 people on him right now, but not going to net anything. They're just going to walk out. A difficult-to-catch team with the Ash, with the Kassadin, who can ult just anywhere and anytime he wants, and then the Pike with the invisibility, the dash. Very difficult to chase this team after they've gotten away. So just going to walk out of this one pretty safe. Tried to siege on that bot in-hib tower, not able to get it. And this is how you've been saying they get back in the game. Playing as a squad, playing as 4 or 5 members collectively to win these fights, to win these advantageous fights for them is what's going to get them enough gold to get them back in the game.
I'd just like to point out that our wonderful Nick has said it's pronounced Reb Lee Fox.
Reb Lee Fox.
Reb Lee Fox is the actual pronunciation.
I'm going to lose it. Okay, Nick doesn't get to say anything about how things are pronounced. They lost the Revolutionary War, okay? They don't get to determine what's English, all right?
I mean, they invented
those are the rules.
language.
That's the right that they lost when they lost the war, okay? They don't get to decide English words anymore. That's our job now.
Somebody sounds sour.
Not me. Must be the tea we poured into the harbor. Anyway, we see Kassadin on the bottom side of the map there trying to elicit a pick onto the Kaiser, who will inevitably walk down into the Ornn. Yeah, it looks like he just got impatient and left there, but I would have liked to see him sit in that bush there, try to get a pick off onto somebody. He has so much gold and damage right now. He's 15,000 gold compared to the next best person, which is actually Memento with 11. So he's got 4,000 gold advantage on everybody, but he is just, it seems like he's never in these fights when they need him to be.
Yeah, and I mean, that's, again, what I've been saying is they need to stay as that 5-man.
Yeah. I was talking about K's. I was talking about K's has a massive gold advantage, but it just seems like he's never in these fights when they need him to be. Here we go. Engagement onto Aslan, man. He's ulted. Oh, but the back suppression from the Warwick, the counter suppression. And the ultimate's going to come out from Lucis Goose, but Dark West gets that ultimate. They're going to kill Askander here. Memento's able to chase him down. That Rage Blade build that he's got is really good at carrying through tanks. But now the Baron is basically completely Phoenix Risings.
Yeah, it looks like FSG is trying to get there in time. They want to try to steal it, but the 3-man versus what they have on.
I think they win this engagement. Kassadin doesn't have any mana, so it's really just a 4-on-3. Kassadin's TPing bot lane now. He does have that Baron buff, so they're going to be able to. We're going to have to wait. They're going to have to run down because their backs will get stopped otherwise. Yeah, Kassadin gets that bot in tower. Let's see if he can get out. Like I said, he was a little low on mana last time I saw him. Let's see if he can get out from the Sejuani.
He's not low on mana.
Wow. Yeah, he's not. He was low on mana back when they were at Baron, but it looks like he regen quite a bit up. Quest able to get the Bard. He's going to be able to hit E, and E's going to go down, and K's gets another kill. Looks like towards the top side of that fight, the suppression goes on to, I believe that's Canadian Champ on the Warwick goes down, but they still get trade kills back and forth. Aze on the backline doing devastating amounts of damage. Gets 3 kills. That's going to be 4. I didn't see who stole the Penta, but they're honestly going to be 5-man reported by that entire team. Great job. It looks like Team Phoenix Rising is going to win this one right here and right now.
Yeah, it just boiled down to they FSG just not playing to their strengths. You saw too many times they were getting caught out in these little skirmishes, 1v2s, 2v3s, things like that. And they needed to stay in those 5s. And in the 5s, there was only like 2 fights that really went their way because they got 2 separated. The Aslan Man and Kaisa just got 2 separated from the group and were just picked off immediately.
Absolutely. I don't know. Game 1 definitely looked better for FSG. They looked very competitive in Game 1, like they could have had a win. This one just seemed like the entire time they were playing on the back foot and that they were just in a losing matchup the entire time.
Yeah, so now it's MVP time. What do you think for MVP?
MVP time. So I get to pick the MVP exclusively without any other input from any other caster, right?
No.
All right. So who do you? I mean, it's I don't know. Alistander was. I thought he had great play through the entire series. I honestly thought he was very consistent through both games. Canadian champ also did some really good work. I don't know. It's hard to say. Dark Quest, I think maybe an unsung hero, but he was great in both games, like fantastic in both games.
Do I need to point out that Kaze is 13-0?
Hayes was 13-0 in game 2, but personally, I don't think the Echo was a massively influential pick to that first game. But if you look at Dark Quest's Braum, his Braum was insanely important in that first game, and then in this one, the Pike was all over the map, always. To me, Dark Quest is the MVP in this one. What do you think?
I think we need a third input here.
All right, let's ask Twitch chat. Let's see if Twitch chat thinks that they're right. Anybody that thinks that I'm right, put anything in the chat. And anybody that thinks that he is right, I want you to give $1 million to the stream. Oh, okay, we got a couple of people saying things. Oh, we got a ton of people saying things right now. Nobody's reporting $1 million.
Yeah, no, I'm saying Kaze. I'm sticking with Kaze. And the only
Nick?
other
Nick,
reason.
What do you think?
Nick's not listening. The only other reason why is because we can figure out if it's Kaze or Kaze.
You're gonna get banned from Twitch chat. Nick, who do you think is the MVP of the series? I'm asking your opinion.
It's Kaze. It's totally Kaze.
All right, we can bring in Kaze. That's fine.
Don't sound so disappointed.
I'm just saying what I think. I still think Dark West is the better one. KZ. I like KZ better. That's my favorite. All right, it's KZ. I like that.
Yes. KZ.
I'm not telling him.
All right, so welcome
How are
to
you
our
doing?
MVP panel.
Oh, hey, what's up?
So I have 5 questions for you.
All right, man.
Do you say your name Kaze?
It's pronounced Kaze.
Or is it KZ?
Nah, dude.
Why is it pronounced Kaze?
It's Japanese for wind because I was a Yasuo main when I started.
Oh, okay. All right. There you go, Twitch chat. You were supporting a
There
Yasuo.
you go.
How do you feel about yourself?
Heck yeah, dude.
So word of mouth, it is Kaze.
Yeah.
How do you feel about this performance in this game?
I thought it was pretty good. Generally, I've been trying to pick up more Kassadin. He's basically he's one of those, you got to get to the mid game picks and you got to survive, and they didn't try to get any punish going off early, so I was able to just scale into the mid game without any hiccups.
Yeah, absolutely. What was the? We saw game 1 was a little bit closer. What was the what do you think the reason for that was? What do you think the reason they were more competitive in game 1?
I think generally speaking, for me, the Orianna pick was a little bit better. That was a little bit better of a matchup for them. We kind of had like a rocky game today prior to this set, and so going into it, I definitely was playing a little more conservatively and not wanting to really get poked down or try to I wanted to keep a health advantage for any sort of jungle plays that I would need to respond to. So I kind of let them get a little ahead in CS and lost a little bit of a lead, which allowed them to have a little bit more gold going into the mid game than they otherwise would have had, and I think they just had a little bit more of a more like surround team than we did at first. But
Gotcha. Jimmy, you got questions for him?
Yes.
Go
Is
ahead.
it pronounced?
No, we're not doing this. We're not doing this, dude. We're not doing that. I mean, questions about League of Legends this time.
Yeah, this is a question about League of Legends. This is a question about a League of Legends caster that I've been working with. So how do you pronounce this other caster that I'm with?
wait, which one? Fair enough.
Oh, so moving forward, do you know who you play next?
No, I do not. I'd have to ask a Canadian.
Okay. Well, that almost eliminates that question. I was gonna say, how do you feel moving forward
Generally
versus so and so?
speaking, we played most of the teams so far, and I can say that I think for us it's really about keeping our team together as a whole. A lot of the problems I feel like we have don't really come from other teams as much as it comes from like our ability as a team to like make good decisions together, right? We seem to have a little bit of a hit or miss performance on whether or not we're actually like we're just on hitting the nail on the head about what each of us needs to do, what we're supposed to pick, how we're supposed to play, all these other things. And when we're on, we win pretty easily, and when we're not, I think we fall apart.
All right, coming into the last couple weeks and into what will be playoffs very, very quickly, how well do you believe your team can do going into the playoffs?
I think that, like I said, I feel like if we're able to just keep it together as a team, I feel like we could take the whole thing probably. It just really depends on how, we all go into it and whether or not we're going into it as a team or whether we're going into it kind of just, you know what I'm saying, kind of just being more like solo players, kind of just not really giving our all.
Absolutely. Got anything
I'm
else?
excited to try and-
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I said I'm excited to play against some other teams we haven't got to play in a while, like White Lotus and things like that. We got to play against them once pretty early on when our team didn't have a lot of the players. We switched up a lot of our roster and like to see how we do against them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, I did. Canadian just messaged me that, so I'll be looking forward to that.
Well, you heard it here first. Phoenix Rising is gonna beat White Lotus 2-0.
Hey, man. Yes.
It's the kind of confidence that we expect. You have more questions there, Jimmy?
Nope, just statements.
All right, fantastic. Got any shout-outs for us, Kaze?
Yeah. Shout out to Shinobi in the chat, holding it down, exposing me as a fraud. Yeah, even though I got the MVP, Darkcast was still very good on support that on those couple games. She was really holding it down for us.
Yep.
So I don't want to take all the credit.
All right. Well, congratulations to you. Congratulations to Team Phoenix Rising. Hopefully, we'll see you guys win some more. Great job.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. All right, and that's going to wrap up our broadcast for tonight. Thank you, everybody in the chat. I know that I am a bad person for mispronouncing names, but I hope you do apologize, or I hope you do forgive me, and that you will come back and listen to us. We love doing this. If you really like what we do and you really like what you're seeing here, please support us on social media. Follow us on Twitch. We stream to YouTube now. We do so much, and we love doing it. So please come. Please show your support by just showing up, just watching what we do, because we love doing it. So, Jimmy, you want to sign off for us?
Yeah, I was just gonna say it was a pleasure. It was a great game to watch. I can't wait to see the next one that both teams are playing in coming around the corner. And I love you. Rebly Fox loves you. And that's us. Just signing out.
Yeah.